Today, in part 11 of this series, we'll work alongside Dave as he fires up the everyday bike for the first time since its full engine rebuild. There were a few hurdles we had to overcome along the way, so make sure you watch till the end so you don't miss the full story. But first, let's take just a minute to look back at how this whole project came together.
I've seen the sun rise from mountaintops, slept on the wrong side of tabletops. I've climbed up trees that don't seem to stop, but it's home where my heart belongs, and it's the same as it's always been. Yeah, these roads keep us traveling. They're like rivers are wide and deep, who flow from land out into the sea. Drawn home, always drawn home, always.
Thank you for watching. Let's get this bike started.
We're just going to make sure we've got a spark, because we haven't done that yet. I'm sure it'd be okay because the module and that are all fairly new. So we attach the plugs to the leads, hang on to the cylinder head. Almost there now. So we're going to put a little bit of oil in the plug hole on each cylinder. Just give a little bit of lube at the top. So we've got a little bit around the pistons because it will be a little while before we get proper lubrication, but it just helps it, puts the compression up a little bit as well. So only a couple of squirts. Then we kick it over a little bit more with the plugs in before we put the ignition on. We're almost to the point where we start the engine. Now, this is a point where it would pay just 2 minutes just to run over what you've been doing. Just make sure everything that shouldn't be there is not there, everything's tight, you've got no leaks. You're going to get it going in a couple of minutes anyway, but just let yourself just think about what you've been doing. There might be something really obvious that you forgot because you got a little bit excited about starting it, and you're always a little bit worried. The apprehension is here now because you want it to go, and you almost, you want it to make sure it's got an oil return as well. So there's quite a lot on this little bit now. So we'll just put a little bit of fuel in it to start with, and make sure we've got no fuel leaks in the tank. Just a summary of what we've been doing. So we've fitted the carb, we just make sure that our unions are tight, the manifold's tight, the rocker feed, that's done up properly. Your top slide adjuster holds the slide assembly onto the carb body. Just make sure we got our coils nice and tight, so we removed the coil to actually put the carburetor back in place. Make sure the pancake filter's done up tight. Make sure nothing is going to get caught anywhere. The engine, we know as far as we can tell at the moment that everything is correct. Hopefully we've got a good oil feed return. Because we had the cover off, we purged it with some oil in the front of the engine. The cover where we could check our ignition timing when you get the degrees before TDC. Just make sure that that cover has been put back in and the screws are tight. You had that opened, so make sure that's all closed up. Just back off the slide adjuster. This is the adjuster that pushes the slide, lifts the slide up, gives you a tick over speed, increase that by winding that in. Just back that right off. We can set that up when you've got it running. So if there's a problem with it, it'll come back off a slide, it almost stalls straight away. We'll know straight away within a few seconds of it firing up whether things are okay. If it's got a funny noise or anything, we can just let that go back and it'll stall, rather than have to find your way around to the key and turn the key. We'll put on just one tap. Then we'll tickle the carburetor. And just checking to make sure we've got no leaks at this stage. We'll depress that until we get fuel coming out the top of the carb. Give the bowl a few seconds to fill up. So far there's no fuel dripping. Oh, we have a slight problem here. That's all right. It's just the float coming up on the needle valve, and obviously it was flooding to start with. That's okay. We're going to try it without choke because it's flooded there a little bit, obviously with fuel coming out. So we'll turn on, we'll kick it over a few times first before we turn the ignition on. The compression will build up once she's fired up the first time. Right, ignition on, and just see if she go. We'll give it choke, it has fired. Maybe tickle it a bit more. Did fire. I think we take the plugs out, dry the plugs and put them back in. We're just going to take the plugs out and dry the plugs. We'll do that with brake cleaner. I think that's the trouble, it's got too much oil in the top. If she runs, she'll smoke a bit at first because there's quite a lot of oil in the top. She's not going to go. We're going to whip the plugs out. They are very wet, so I think we've overdone it. We'll probably stick an airline in here and dry it out a little bit. I've overdone it, but I'd rather that at first than the other way. So plugs out, put the airline inside, blow it out, and then we'll have another go. But we won't tickle the carburetor anymore now. They are sopping wet. We're just going to check, see what our spark's like, even with a wet plug. Yeah, spark's good. We've got a good spark. That's alright. Airline, we'll put the high pressure one on so we get a bit of pressure down inside. And just blow the plug. Plug out. Okay, she's only running one cylinder. We got a dodgy plug. But just check compression on that side, just to make sure that's okay. It should be, but we're just going to check it. I think we'll have it running on both cylinders in a moment for you. Well, she's about 60, so that's all right. It's okay. I think what we'll do, we'll see if we've got another plug, or we just dry that out. I think the oil's just tracking the spark out. We'll give it another clean in the brake cleaner. Give it one more go. Try this once more, and if it's no good, this plug, we'll change it for another one. I'll find one somewhere. Give that another go. See if we got two cylinders this time. Plug's breaking down. Okay, I found another plug. It's not the right grade, but it's the right length. We're just going to put it in here and see if she runs on both cylinders properly. So I want to check to see if we got an oil return at the tank. She's running on one okay, but not on the other very well. So we have got the wrong grey plug in there. I'll whip that plug back out again and we'll just check. Okay, so it's running. And I might as well tell you now, thanks for all your comments on the videos. They really are good. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm doing this all for people to enjoy watching it and also give you a bit of downtime to do something away from what's going on in the world at the moment. So if you're enjoying it, great. But sometimes I might get the odd word wrong. And I remember a few weeks ago in my head I was thinking 360 days in a year. That's not degrees, it's 360, but it's too late doing about it. Because you're doing it all live, you can make a mistake and it adds to the fun really, and I think we can all see the funny side. The engine will need to turn over one complete revolution, 365 degrees. But getting back to this, yeah, it's okay. We've just got a few issues, but nothing serious, and you know, sometimes they go 100% first time, but this has been a bit of an unknown, putting it back together from a box of bits, but she's almost there, and yeah, I think she'll be a good bike. So thanks for watching. Right, we're just going to do a hot start on it now to see if it still goes. Okay, so she runs well. The engine's fine. We just need to put the seat back on. It'll bed in. We just need to give it a chance to bed in. We blipped it a little bit so you can hear it really. I wouldn't normally do that quite as much as that. But no, she runs okay, and a hot start now. I'll do one more kick over. And she's there, ready for a road test. We'll do just one more kick on it. When we tried to start this, we had it running on one cylinder, on the right-hand cylinder. Nothing on the left, and we found the plug was quite oily. Although we checked the spark initially with the plug out and it sparked, but it was intermittent probably when it's running. And once that started breaking down, it just oiled that plug up because there's lots of oil in that bore. So I found another plug, which was a competition plug, platinum tip plug. It didn't like running on that. So I took a couple of plugs out that were in my toolbox for one of my other bikes that had been used, they weren't clean, and I put those in and she was fine. Yeah, I think because I put quite a bit of oil in there, it's always, you don't mind messing around like this. You'd rather spend a bit more time kicking it over, lots of oil being there, rather than the other way around where it's a bit dry and it, you know, it's fired up and you're not sure whether it's lubricated properly. No, she's fine. Looking forward to actually trying it on the road now. What we could do is just make sure the clutch works, goes into gear properly. But yeah, she's good.